Guys, let me tell you a story about the Doom Tower in Raid Shadow Legends. A long time ago, the Arbiter fought a pack of nasty bad guys, but she wasn't strong enough to take them all out for good. Now that Sarath is leaking back into the world, the Doom Tower is failing, and it's up to us to clean up this mess. Raid has just released a giant new feature, Awakening, and a brutal new dungeon, the Iron Twins Fortress. You need to experience this for yourself. Just log in and play Raid for 7 days, anywhere from now until October 27th, and you will add Ultimate Death Knight to your collection completely for free. But wait, there's more. New and existing players. Use promo code DKRises for a bunch of free items to instantly level your new strongest champion all the way to level 50, 5-star Ascension. If you haven't played Raid, click my link in the description or scan my QR code, do it right here on the screen, and you'll get a unique set of bonuses. We're talking a free epic champion, Kayrel, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in the game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. Khamzat Chimaev, our favorite topic over here, guys, right? We can't quit talking about Chimaev enough. But we also can't let this damn weight thing go. Well, Chimaev's added to that. Right when I thought we were through the weeds, we could move on to something else, Chimaev tweets out 185. 185. That's all he says. He doesn't put pounds. He doesn't put anything. He just puts 185. Well, of course, we got to run with that, don't we? We got to speculate on that, don't we? I mean, the biggest match waiting for Chimaev right now is at 185. It's Paulo Costa. Nobody disagrees with that, do we? And whatever you want to see Chimaev do next, we'll all be interested. We can agree on that. But whatever it is, if it's not Paulo Costa, it's a big dip down. We're still there. But I'm speaking for us all, right? And the same thing for Paulo Costa. Whoever he's going to fight next, yeah, we'll be there. We'll come along. But if it's not Chimaev, it's a big step down. Am I right on that? Sure I am. 185. I mean, if 185 was just to get us talking, great, you did it. You succeeded, Chimaev. You got me. But I don't think so. I think he's feeling it out. I think he's starting in on this. I don't think that Chimaev chose 170 pounds. I think that was chosen for him. If Chimaev is in fact going 185, he didn't just have to tweet out 185. He could have just teched out Paulo Costa, or he could have teched out 185 Paulo Costa. Like, those are going to go together, I think. I imagine I'm right on that, which is very exciting. And that's a co-main event of any paper you want to do. That's a main event on any other card that you want to do. And it is interesting. Is that going to be 3 rounds or is that going to be 5 rounds, right? I mean, there's a lot on this match. 3 rounds versus 5 rounds is a totally different deal. But people have been making this big deal that Chimaev's going to go to 185. I'm doing it too. But let's not forget, half his fights have been at 185. Well, the rankings committee called him a welterweight. You, the public, has called him a welterweight. His record says something different. So what did he have? This is off the top of my head, but he had 4 fights that were at welter, and he had 2 that were at middle. Well, no, excuse me, his last fight was at middle. There's no such thing as a catchweight, just so we're real clear. There's no such thing. You're over 170 and you're under 185. You are now in middle. So I put his last fight in that category, but that still got us 4-3. That's pretty even. 4 at one weight class, 3 at another, saying his next is going to be at the other, even up the score to 4-4. We're talking about a middleweight that we're forcing down to welter. There's no story on Chimaev being a 185 pounder. There's parity. There's matchups that we can do. Sure, you can have some excitement. Sure, you can change the rankings. Sure, instead of Kamara and Leon winner having to think about him, now it could be Pierre and Adesanya winner. We love changes like that, right? There's a reason that every movie puts a twist at the end. We love swerves. But we're still talking about a middleweight that's going to fight middleweight, as opposed to a middleweight that's getting sucked down to 170. This is where he belongs, and his record backs me up on that. Performances on the scale backs me up on that. If Chimaev was to go to 185 pounds, can he go to 185 pounds and not fight Paulo Costa? If so, well, then who would he fight? And moreover, I've doubled your work, because who's Paulo going to go fight? Robert Whittaker versus Chimaev is a very interesting match. Robert Whittaker does not get his credit. I know you guys think he's great. I know that he's ranked number 1. I understand those things. He's better than that. Robert Whittaker is a top 5 to have ever done it. For sure at his weight class, but he's a top something, top 10, period, to have ever done. He's excellent. His takedown defense is as good as anyone I've seen. George St. Pierre was the master of wrestling offense. But Jose Aldo was the master of wrestling defense. Jose was as good as George, but in reverse. One was offense and one was defense. And Whittaker comes along, he's as good as Jose. Robert Whittaker has as good of anti-wrestling, as good a defense as I've ever seen, and that's a big deal if you're going to be in there with Chimaev. Sure it is. One of Chimaev's great weapons before he sets them up is to set up the position. He does that with the takedown. He does it with the same takedown, which happens to be a double leg, and everybody does it come and they still can't stop it. Really interesting match. Now, I shouldn't digress and go too far down that road because these two have made chummy. These two decided to hit it off, and they're gonna work out together. And that's fine. You got to have workout partners. I'm just sharing with you, so we can't really go down that road. We can't really make that match. And Chimaev and Paulo Costa, boy, I would tell you, I would be excited. I would be excited. There are some things that happen just serendipitously. They just do. You were never planning them. You didn't see them. You didn't think there was a story here. God, they're different weight classes, for goodness sakes. One guy's getting a workout. One guy's starting to cut weight. They come across paths and the camera picks it up. I mean, there are some things that just happen where you go, okay, stop everything. That's the match. This is one of those times. I had a fight with Jon Jones. Jon Jones and I had nothing to do with one another. Different weight classes. Different stages of our career, different ages, but any way you want to do it, we just don't have anything to do with one another. All of a sudden, fight opens up, short notice, it's going to be me against Jon. Jon says no. Well, that brought a real interest. We go from there. And 2022, as far as matchmaking, as far as business in general at the UFC, is a very different year. It is not what I would have predicted. It's not what I would have expected. It's not what the UFC itself has done in any other year since Dana has been at the helm. It's a very different year. But I keep getting these matches that I never knew I wanted. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. I did not want that match. I cannot wait for that match. And that continues to happen to me. Poirier versus Chandler. I'm not, oh my goodness. Right, I go from not interested, not even talking about it. Hell, Chandler didn't talk about it. It's what got him in this spot, is that he wasn't talking about it. Point is, counting down the days. And this would be another one of those fine examples. If Chimaev is going to 185, let's just make the whole announcement. Chimaev and Paulo Costa are going to fight at 185.